260-foot commercial freighter burned at the port. The fire started at about 5:30 this morning, apparently sparked by an electrical problem. The 29 crewmen of the Centaurus got off safely. By the time the fire went to 4 alarms, 250 firefighters were on the scene, one of them suffering minor burns. They had a tough time since it was dark inside and unfamiliar territory.
We have to depend upon the people, the ship's master or captain, to explain to us. In this particular case, we had somewhat of a communications problem.
The crewmen are from Korea and spoke very little English. They had been here about a week unloading a cargo of bananas from Costa Rica. There were no toxic chemicals aboard, but firefighters were racing the clock to avoid an explosion.
We had a full load of fuel on here, exactly where the main part of the fire was in relation to the fuel tanks. We had to try to make a very aggressive attack and get the applied water or foam into those areas.
The firefighting effort itself caused a few problems here. They were pumping so much water onto the ship that it started listing to one side. They were afraid it might topple over onto the warehouse, so they considered cutting the ropes, towing it out to the middle of the river, and fighting the fire from there. But they brought in some pumping equipment and got enough water off the boat, so now it's back where it should be. By 1 o'clock, the danger had passed, leaving an expensive mess inside.
There's 2,000 tons of bananas, I believe, remaining on board.
Jim Young was here representing the ship's owner, Kappa Maritime of London. He says the ship was built in 1972 and was worth between $3 and $5 million. The flames gutted the entire structure, and it may be hard to salvage. As for the 29 crewmen,
they'll be taken to a hotel until they can be taken back to their countries of origin. And I understand the Coast Guard will have an investigation.
Young says arson is not suspected and that the investigation will probably point to an electrical malfunction in the engine room. David Henry, Channel 6 Action News at the Port of Wilmington.
But investigators think an arsonist may be to blame for a pair of destructive fires last night in Montgomery County. The first broke out about 8:30 at the clubhouse of the Twining Valley Golf Club, a popular public course in Upper Dublin Township. Firefighters from 4 communities battled the blaze for 2 hours before getting the upper hand. The clubhouse was destroyed along with 60 electric golf carts in an adjacent garage. And just a short distance away in Upper Moreland Township, flames attacked a building in the Willow Grove Industrial Center. This fire was reported shortly before 10 and required double duty on the part of many fire companies back from the golf course. The blaze here at the Stever Company apparently began on the roof. Both fires are labeled suspicious. A grinding 2-vehicle crash has killed a 24-year-old woman from Lindenwold, New Jersey. It happened early this afternoon near Delaware and Richmond in Philadelphia, near the approach to the on-ramp of I-95 in Fishtown. The victim was driving the car. She was hit by a big truck. Crews spent a half hour trying to remove the woman from her car from under the dashboard, but she was dead at the scene. Police